Hi there, it's Mr. Smith, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you a video tour of MyLab Math. So you can see we're at our home page. And so first of all, you can scroll down and you can click on MyLab Math here. The other way to navigate this page is using the content view. And notice all we have to do is click on MyLab Math. And so here we are, excuse me, in MyLab Math. So first thing you should do is, and by the way, normally you'll just come into assignments, and you won't go into these other links probably very often. But the first thing you should do when you first come to MyLab Math is run the browser check. And it'll tell you if you have everything you need to run MyLab Math. If not, you may have to download some plugins or something. Excuse me. So let me close that. Now, navigating's a little weird. I got to click back on the MyLab Math button here. And we're going to skip assignments. We'll go to the grade book. Now, I'm not going to click in there, but basically the grade book will show you your grades on assignments. The overall grade book's going to be a little bit off just because of the settings in MyLab Math. I'll update grades after every test and put those in eCampus. Excuse me. The eCampus grade is the one that you're going to want to be paying attention to. So the eText, that's of course your textbook. It does take a minute to open here, or takes a while. All right, so keep in mind that I've made this window a little smaller than normal to make for a nice video, so it's not blurry. But anyway, so yours will look a little bit better, hopefully. Here's our table of contents, and so you can go to whatever section you want. Let's go ahead and go to Chapter 2. Oh, shoot. I'm lost here now. Let's see. There we go. How about order of operations? And the nice thing about this book, this online textbook, is it's interactive. So this takes you to the section lecture. This is a video on this first objective. And then you have examples, and you can try some examples or some problems. So it's very interactive, so I think you'll find it's worthwhile. That's one way some of you may choose to learn the material. So we'll talk about that in detail, because I think that's an important thing this first week or two, is learning what's going to be the best way for you to learn the material. Now, sometimes you're going to go, man, I already know this topic pretty well, and you might just skim over the PowerPoint notes. But there's other times where you might want to watch videos or just go through the notes in the book, the examples in the book. But you've got to figure out what's going to work best for you. And as you do an online course, mostly on your own. And so let me, let's see, if you're going from page to page, you can click on these arrows. You can also just put the page number right in here. The other thing you can do is click here, and you can print a page out. Unfortunately, the print feature is not all that great. I think you can only do like one page at a time, and it's got writing across it because of, legal issues and that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's your textbook. Let's go back into MyLab Math. And we'll look at the multimedia library next. Now, normally everything you need is right there when you're doing your homework. And so a lot of these things you have access to through the homework. It does take a minute for this to open. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. All right, so you can click on whatever chapter, and let's just do section, oh goodness, section 1. And I selected all the things. So these are all the help things that come with the book. Notice there's some animation videos. There's other things here. I'm only going to talk about the things that we normally use. Here's a link to that section 5.1. Here are the PowerPoint notes. Here's the video for this section. And then I believe these are videos that make up this big video. And so when you're in MyLab, it's going to, if you click on the help buttons and there's a video, it's going to be one of these. The other thing I would say is I have put in some of my own videos in some of the sections. And if it says 1T at the beginning, then you know that's my video. All right, so let's click out of there. Excuse me. And next we have accessible resources. If you're concerned about accessibility, again, this one takes a little bit of time to open. There we go. So there's accessible PowerPoint slides, transcripts, an alternate version of the textbook. All right, so those are things that are available to you if that's something that you might want access to. MyLab purchase options. If you'd like to have a paper copy of the textbook, you can get a 3-ring binder type of textbook. I think it's 60 to 80 bucks, something like that. So you'd have to click in there and you can, find out how to do that. I've yet to have anybody that actually purchased it, but it is available. Integration support is, excuse me, if you ever have issues and you have to contact Pearson support, they may ask you to go in there to give them some information that they'll need to help you. And then the last link I want to point you to is this math mindset link. In fact, I'm trying to remember, I think you may even have some assignments where you have some of these videos you watch and you'll make comments about. But it's really good materials. A lot of students have had bad experiences with math and really have developed a bad mindset or attitude about math. And this is a really good thing for those types of students to look at. The more positive you can be, the better. And you really have to believe that you can learn and get better, that you're not kind of locked into just being a bad math student. I've had many students that never had much success in high school, but they get to the college, they're much more mature, they're working hard, and they discover that they're actually pretty good at math. They just never really worked at it. So anyway, something to look at if you have issues with your approach to mathematics. So finally, let's go to assignments. And let's go to the percent section here. Now, I guess before I do that, I just want to show you, let's go to 2.1 lecture. So for each homework section, this is your lecture materials. This is everything that's available to you to help you learn the material. So for some of you, maybe you just want to watch this video. It's the video done by the author for this section of the book. And she does a good job. And then these are some other videos that are available as well. And then here's the PowerPoint notes. And here's the link to the book if you want to go into the book and read. And again, remember, it's pretty interactive. If there was a video that I did, you would see a 1T here. I'm pretty pleased with most of the videos, so I didn't do a lot of videos for this book. All right, so for every homework section, you have videos. And again, you got to figure out what's the best way for you to learn the material, especially if it's an area that you know you're weak at. So let's get out of there. I probably should have arrowed back. I might have been able to arrow back there. All right, so let's go to the percent assignment, and you can see, actually I'll click on this real quick. This is all the book stuff, and notice I've done a video. So I would encourage you, anytime I do a video, to watch mine because it focuses on exactly what you need to know. And so there's one that I did. So I can actually arrow back here. And now let's go into the homework assignment. Let's see, I want to go back. By the way, you'll notice here's your due dates. So you only have those for the homework assignments. Lectures and stuff like that, you're not going to have a due date. So now we can go in here and let's go to question 44. There's some different ways to navigate around. I'll show you those in a sec. You can use these arrows here at the top. You can actually click on the problem you want to do here, and you can also get to it here. Notice there's also a print button here, so I think you can print out all the homework here. Maybe do it and then put your answers in. Let's go to 44, which I think we're at. And I'm just going to put in the wrong answer here. And check answer. And I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm going to put it in again. And I'll put a different answer in this time. Notice it says final check. So it tells you the correct answer. It tells you your answer. Now there's a skill builder. I think the idea behind that is it'll go over whatever skills you need to know in order to do this problem. Just be careful that you don't get doing that too much, because there is a lot of homework, and if you do too much of the skill builder, you may not be able to keep up. So just be careful with that. But notice now that I missed it the third time, I have a red X. I've missed this problem. Now I could click on similar exercise or similar question right now, but I'm going to go on to the next problem. Notice that other problem has been marked wrong. So I could go on and do other problems, but then come back and I'm like, okay, I want to fix this. And I just click on similar question. And, whoops, I need to get my calculator and find out the answer to this problem. So we need to find 6% of 675 if we want to know the tax here. So we'll multiply 0.06 times 675. So that's $40.50. And notice now I have a green check. And so my point is, if you're willing to go back and correct problems that you miss, you can get 100% on every homework assignment. And every semester I seem to have a handful of students that do that or have a very high score in the 90s. But it's important to get those easy points because things get harder when you take tests and stuff like that. Excuse me. All right, so let's say you're doing a problem and you don't know how to do it. Well, you can click on Help Me Solve This, and it'll help you solve this problem step by step. Well, these problems are generated by the computer, and sometimes the numbers are not very nice. But if they are nice, you might want to say, hey, I don't want to mess up this problem. I'll view an example. you can click on View an Example and then come back and do the same problem. If you do help me solve this, it'll help you solve this one, but then it'll give you a new problem. So you have both of those, and then if you click on Get More Help, there's your link to the textbook for section 6.3 in this case. Sometimes you'll see videos or other stuff here. And then also notice there's a link to Ask My Instructor. So as long as I don't get too many of these, I can normally keep up. Just click on Ask My Instructor. It'll show me the problem that you're doing. You can write in detail what your question is. And then normally what I'll do is I'll either send back a written response or a video response, or sometimes if there's several problems, I'll talk to students about maybe getting together and having a meeting in Teams. All right, one last thing here. If you click here, there's more on accessibility. You can also print out the homework here. And I think that's about all I had to mention here. So if you have any questions, let me know. I think that should be helpful. But if I missed anything, let me know. That's all, guys.